Hello, this is our organizational development from Jacob Field and Brittany Randall.
So to get started, we'll give you a little bit of the history of our organization. We work for Parker Hannifin. Parker was founded in 1917 in Cleveland, Ohio by Arthur L. Parker and Carl Klom. In their early days, they built pneumatic brake systems for trucks, trains, buses, and industrial machinery. Their solutions have enabled a lot of technology leaps over the years. Today, our technology continues to make huge impacts worldwide. Parker currently has over 8,000 patents granted throughout the company's history, and they also just celebrated their 100 years just last year. Here we show a little bit of an organizational chart from our facility. There are much bigger ones that you can access on the Parker website, but for the purpose of this, we thought the organizational chart from our facility would make the most sense.
So we needed to figure out what we needed to work on, and we conducted some interviews. We interviewed 6 individuals, 3 from each of us, and there's many topics we went over as some things of challenges the leader, and some of the answers we got were understanding the different personalities within the team. What are the strengths of our leaders? Great negotiation skills, ability to analyze and manipulate data. What are some things in the way they work that create cost effectiveness? Constantly track and work towards metrics around inventory was that answer. How are decisions made in the organization? Who makes them? Generally, they follow a chain of command. Hourly associates go to leads, leads go to managers, managers go up if needed. Most of the decisions are made from the plant manager as it goes down the chain, but sometimes the information isn't really trickled down all the way. And that was one of the main problems with a lot of our interviews, is that the information wasn't getting to us that we would like to know.
After completing the interviews, we created and distributed surveys. We handed these out to 10 employees. All of our employees these were very similar to the interview. We did 20 survey questions. The ones included are the ones that pertain specifically to the communication or lack thereof from the management to their employees, based on the employees' opinions. This first question was, I feel that management is happy with my performance. As you can see, 6 people responded neutral to this question. When asked, they said that they felt this way because they're not sure how management feels, because efforts are not made to comment or check in with the employees. The next question from the survey that we included is, what is one thing you would suggest to management? 6 people suggested better communication. 1 suggested to complete reviews, and 3 suggested to have better discipline. When asked why, most people said that they are lucky to have interactions once a week with their manager, and this is very poor for communication throughout the shop. The next survey question was, I feel that my manager communicates openly with me. As you can see, we had close responses here. 3 disagree, 3 strongly disagree. These individuals said that they feel that management only communicates certain things to certain employees and not others. Therefore, some things that should be communicated throughout the shop are just stopping with one person, so they feel it would be better for management to communicate this directly with all employees. The final question from the survey we included here is, employees' opinions are taken seriously? This question has some mixed responses, as you can see. These employees that were on the disagree end of this spectrum said that it's hard for management to take them seriously when they rarely interact with us.
So now we'll talk a little bit about our organizational health. So as an organization, our health is actually really well, except for the fact that our communication, we don't think, from based on our surveys and our interviews, is the greatest. We had processes set in place in the past, but with lack of resources, this process has kind of stopped. We believe that even with a manager set aside an hour a week, it would be beneficial to all employees. People want to know what's going on, and not being able to know, just especially now of all times, they just feel like they're left out. And some people may not want to be a part of it, which is understandable, but the majority of the people in this organization want to be a part of everything.
Next, we will go to our intervention strategies that we came up with. Based on the surveys and interviews we conducted, we found that communication was the biggest downfall within our organization. Our hourly employees felt that there is no communication between the management team and floor associates. The initiative that we came up with that our organization could use to overcome this barrier would be to establish a clear line of communication with the hourly associates. We believe that this would help the organization by having an open office hour with each manager once a week. With this proposal, each team of management would set aside one designated hour each week where employees could schedule a one-on-one with them to discuss their performance, communication, or any other questions or concerns they may have. For this initiative, we feel that if we had 1 hour weekly where employees could sign up for 15-minute meetings with their manager, that would be sufficient time for them to get feedback for the questions that they have. And then if it turns out to not be sufficient time, they could then schedule a personal meeting with their manager at the convenience of both of them. There are multiple ways this could be effective. The first being that the employees get the one-on-one time with their managers that they have been asking for. The research that we put behind this approach was from our interviews and surveys with our employees. Some of the interview questions that we based this off of was, how does the management team relate to other groups? What are the challenges of a leader? To build this change, we can look at the survey and interview responses and see that the employees are not happy with the way the communication is currently in our facility. We feel that this fact alone is enough to want to change it. So we firmly believe if we set this implementation in place, we could improve communication throughout our facility. The most immediate way that we can measure this intervention as to whether it's going to work or not is to speak with the employees directly after the first few weeks of implementing this. This will give us immediate feedback to let us know if things are working, if we need to make adjustments. We think by measuring the success, this way we will easily be able to compare data from both surveys and the interviews to determine how well this approach is working.
To add to that, like another way to see for a measurement side to see if stuff is working, you can also see with visuals. You can see how people with their morale, if they're feel motivated to do things, if they feel like they're involved in something, they don't just kind of dwindle off. They want to be a part of it, and if people are involved, it usually shows in their work too. So if they're putting out more stuff, is because they're involved with everything that's going on. So that's also a way to measure if they're feeling like they're being communicated in that aspect. So we got to come up with an implementation strategy for this. This is the breakdown of it. We want to start with the team, get the leader, some members, and then create a proposal, present it to the manager and the whole team, inform the employees, and then create a schedule to work this through and get this all done. So with this, we kind of set aside a week to do this. We can't usually put all our resources in at once because we still have to run a business. But with the span of the week, we should be able to accomplish all our main goals, and then we could also schedule stuff down the road to go forward with this even further if it doesn't all pan out the way we want.
Based off of the information that we just shared and the research that we presented, we feel that this plan is the best way to improve communication throughout the shop between managers and employees. We feel that employees will greatly appreciate it and be happy with the new outcome. Thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of your day.